haven't technically, it is time to sign up with Sid.
Oh.
You know, I did. I just realized this.
Yeah, okay.
That's okay. We've had someone who did, and he totally didn't mean to, but like several months later, it's just like, so I did some math, and it's okay, just go talk to Sid, as long as it's all sorted out.
Go talk to Sid.
No worries. But maybe we just kind of do a lightning round of reintroductions, and we'll do that again if other people come in. Mostly I'd like to kind of look at where we're at on tempo with a couple of these guys, and the ones that we're going to do to dances that progressively speed up, we'll kind of go through and just see how we're feeling with that. The ones that we're suggesting to kind of add to our list, Shove That Hog, Swizzle, Prison Fire, Petronella, I was going to say Clutchable Cat. Thinking of Old Grey Cat and Clutchable Head is not a good time. And what is another one that's a weird name? Just wrote it down. Spotted Pony. So, how do you want to do which one of those? What? Spider Pony? Spotted Pony. Although, Spotted Pony? Yes. Spider Pony. Spider Pony! There's too terrifying for words. So, I would say neither one of those. That was exciting. I'd like to say now we will not be doing Spider Pony. I don't care how cool the two is. Just can't handle that. But yeah, shall we just start with you on the left and we'll do our usual introductions.
I'm Katie, and this is my third semester, fourth semester with Sarah and the band.
I can't answer that for you, it is one long class in my mind.
Yeah. Love it, and can't stop coming.
So I'm Joe. I came with Katie, so whatever she said, that's true for me too.
I'm Kitty, and I did just the last session and this session, and I'm in a band, and I recruited him to be in the band.
Yay! And that's how this should work. Yes. That's how this should go.
I'm Carl, recovering guitar player, trying to make my way through the world with mandolin, and yes.
And now you're
Katie
playing
got me
guitar.
And now she's stepping back into the world of guitar. Literally free.
Just started with this in the last session and loving it.
I'm David, brand new.
Woohoo!
About two banjos.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, two
Banjos.
Let us go
And
then.
dare I say,
Man.
dueling.
Oh!
I don't know that.
Now, so Gary, I mentioned that it's to banjo players as Orange Blossom specialists to fiddle players where you're like, no!
It is, it's true. It is.
Yeah, I've just made it, like, I had to learn it once for a student, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I did my time.
Kevin, it's my second season.
So, to just give you an overview of what we do generally in this group and what we've done so far, is our big focus is figuring out how is playing for a dance different than just playing a concert or playing in jams. Have you had a chance to play for dancers before?
No.
Okay, which is the normal answer in this class. We haven't really had much people coming from previous dance experience. They just don't want to be telling you things you know.
And no bad habits to undo.
Fantastic. This is great. Hey guys, come on out. Yay. So we spent some of our time talking about stuff that we really have to practice together, working on the transitions, working on staying tight at tempo, how you talk with the caller, how you talk with the band to signal changes and all of that stuff. And so since most of that kind of takes up our class time, we don't spend as much time like going through and learning the tunes.
Right.
So if there's some on that list that you know, great. If you're just going to kind of take chunks of it here and there, that's great too, because as everybody else should remember, you're not supposed to play all of the tunes at our dance, right? Because you have to get kicked out on the floor.
Our dancing is required.
Dancing is required. It is not optional. We just decide when exactly we drop that little info bomb on you. So, whatever you don't play is a great set to go dance. So I want to take a look at a couple of these guys here. And we kind of worked through some waltz stuff last time as well as the polka. The dreaded polka situation. Hey! Michelle, question. Not a test, just a question. Was it you that suggested shove that hog's foot a little further in the fire?
No. I hadn't heard that one either.
Someone suggested it.
I'm glad because I learned that on my own and just kind of
Somebody is not being honest here. Okay, and then you leave me no choice. Just pick on you at random. So I'm gonna just have a different person do it every couple of times. Kitty, I'd like you to do. I'm sorry. You're my line of sight. I'd like you to do the first two. So you will start it. I do that. Blah, blah, blah. They're still playing. They're still trucking. And she's going to stop playing. Y'all don't stop playing. And then she's going to go like this. And that's when you stop.
Okay.
At any random point, A part, B part, I don't care. Because the entire point of that in the context of the dance we use it for is to surprise the dancers. It's a musical chairs type dance. So then once they stop, you again a little faster.
Okay.
And then do it again, and then I will pick on Michelle. And then you will do potatoes a little faster, and then at some point you will stop playing, but that is not the signal, and you will go like this, and that is the signal to stop wherever she goes, like this, to the best of our ability. We all on the same page on that? Okay, so
Okay.
go for it.
So start and stop it, and then start
Twice, yeah. Start and stop twice, and then
Okay.
you start and stop twice, and then we'll see if it's fast enough or not. Good. Okay. No, that was great. So the only thing is to give them
to give it more time.
just to like bring your hand up,
Okay.
and then you've got their eyes, and then at a point of your choosing, they'll just know it's coming, and that's it.
Make sure
Alright.
you can see.
It was too much pressure, guys. Okay.
But still, everybody's wrong, right? That's still made right. So they'll be a little bit crisper if you give them a little bit more hand in the air warning, but otherwise you're great. So just do it again, and not super fast, but a little bit faster. And Katie, are you doing all A's and E's or A's and G's?
I'm going A's and E's.
Okay, tonight it's A's and E's. So, y'all,
Unless somebody would like to argue.
yeah, if somebody has a strong, is A and G more
Is A
There's
and
one.
G
There's one G that I want to substitute, or one E that I want to put a G in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell me where and I'll put it
Yeah. So is it the third or fourth measure of the
Of the A or B?
B?
Of the B. Okay.
Yeah.
There. Okay. Cool. You
got
can be
it.
flexible on
I
that.
can do that.
Alright. So,
It's just that.
I know, it's magic, isn't it? Alright, kick it out.
Okay.
Okay. back to that D. That ring a bell? So, court people, you gotta do that with us. So we resolved to D that last time through, and then we'll go into Sandy Boy's into A. That all make sense? It does. And at that little moment, as much as we can, to have that little millisecond of silence is nice. It doesn't mean like scared hesitation, but you don't have to. one, if not two, key changes throughout them.
So I'm going to play out of OpenG the whole time.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy.
There's no way.
Yeah, but I mean, the other thing is that like we play them for a long time. So if it's something where it's not a huge like retuning for you, they drastically outnumber you. So if you needed to just like drop out for a couple rotations and retune, if it was like not a giant thing, but yeah, if you just want to stay in open game. Do a retune, do it. So yeah, but we can make room. That we have one where I can't remember if it was. I think it was Carnival when the gents were still playing it capoed. Where we just, I think that's actually where that dropout came from. Is that there's just like there's a point where it was all fiddles in the backup dropped out because they're all like capos. Like, all right, G minor, like we got this. So there's ways to work around that, but it's a nice sound, you guys. I'm digging that. Cool. All right. I want to take a little look at our polka set, the Evas and Britches set. Do you guys have some of that going on? Just because we talked last time a little bit about that polka footwork. Does anybody remember anything about that?
The band is the most important part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is.
And am I not the only person who hates polka? I can't play them. It's the bowing that screws me up. Is there a trick with the bowing? I guess this is not the right bowing.
I see that all the time. Yeah, right, wrong, these are strong things. So what I would say is, I think that Eva's is probably, because there's also, Britches is slightly a different style of polka, and so that is kind of reflected in their just a little bit. But, snap rhythms to get that bouncy and. Yeah. So it has to be very rhythmic.
It's just up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah. Okay. But it's a little bite on that. Bum, 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 bum.
I think I want to slur something because I'm not.
And it's not to say like there's slurs or
unintentionally slurring,
but yeah.
screws me up later on.
So just because we need a reminder, and I haven't done anything ridiculous yet tonight. Obviously, that's a mandatory portion of this. Your polka step is that ba bum ba ba dum da da da. So as you're saying, it's that and step, right? So when you're doing the Eva, it's that da 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 da. And even though we are likely to play this for for a set dance, for a contra or something, it's still a polka, and you want to make that nod to its heritage there. But at some point, someone will actually want you to play a polka for a polka. Two things you want to know about that: it has to have that lift midway through, so that they effectively execute that 180 pivot. And the other thing is, at some point, you should really polka with someone who can do the polka really well. Even if you are yourself a lead, like to feel what that is like. Because it's not a super hard dance in terms of footwork, but it's a very exhausting dance, particularly if the people are playing it way too fast. And so it is something where you definitely separate the dance bands from concert bands who showed up and played a dance, kind of. Is when they're playing their polkas, their schottisches, their waltzes at tempos that don't make sense for the dances that they're being done for. So that's something to really kind of think about as you're doing these. They are very sprightly, particularly when we're doing it for a contra, but when you're doing it for the couples dance, you need to be mindful of what that feels like. So just kind of do the little ping pong. 1 and 2, pivot, 1 and 2, and see how fast can you execute a 180 turn. It is actually easier with a partner, but even so, there's only so fast humans can do that. Unless I guess you are born in Germany and have done it all your life. I don't know. Maybe you got a stronger core or something than I do. But so let's just do it a couple times. Just kind of get in the groove on it. I'm more concerned about emphasis than like the correctness. So. because if you leave it, that emphasis of the book really helps you figure out arms up, arms down.
Are we running to this song?
Good question. No, but we kind of started making a habit of it because it fits that dance really well. And I don't know if it's just polkas go along with that or what have you. So not always, but it does have a nice fit with that. So cool. I'm really happy with that. And mostly, I think we're coming along that just in terms of confidence. Kind of how are you guys feeling about the tunes? Is it still just a little new? Okay. Because I'd like us to just work a little bit on that change, even if all we hit clearly is the starting note. I'm cool with that. What follows will take time, but I'd like us to work on always making that change, really knowing where you're going. So, where does Eva's end? On an A. Very good. And what does Bridges Melissa start on? Right. So it is always our job to make that change sound like it's really something extra so when you're starting and ending on that same note, right? So what you want to avoid having is like don't give them a chance to wonder whether something happened or not, right? So the difference on that makes sense? So can we just do that's it. I just want you to be able to hit the A and then the new A is really the start of something. So I started from the last phrase in Eva's, which starts on a B. 1, 2, 3, 4. Clean starts and clean endings, they will forgive an awful lot of stuff that will last. I mean, that is just the musical truth of it. So, good. Very, very nice. Okay, I'm liking that. Let me go back to our list and make sure we're not skipping anything then. Can we look at that swallowtail jig to St. Anne's real change? Does that make sense?
That way, if they
And
I'm not.
then I want to talk some new stuff about it. So,
I'm getting saturated.
it's okay. We're going to review the swallowtail to St. Anne's because we're just still trying to work on our jig to real thing. So, this is where, because you've been here, somebody explained why do we change jig to reel instead of reel to jig?
Because it's more exciting.
Because it's more exciting. Very good. Somebody else, why is it more exciting? Different.
There's more notes per beat in the second half of that.
Yes. So when you're in 6/8, you've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Within that, where are your heavy beats? 1 and
Four.
yes.
Yeah.
There's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That makes sense. So this is still your heavy beat, 1 and 4. Okay. So you've got 3 notes here, 3 notes there between each of your strong beats, and then when you get into 4/4, then it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and what's your emphasized beats? 1 and 3. Yes. You guys with me? So visual aid with the jigs in 6/8. It's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Heavy beat is here. Reels and other things in 4/4. Your heavy beat is here. So even though the tempo has not altered, you're getting one more eighth note in the same amount of time. So your tempo, the point at which the dancer's feet hit the floor, that has not altered at all. But that means that your eighth notes have all proportionately gotten shorter. Does that make weird sense? Okay. So let's just do our jig to reel count off one more time before we do the actual music. So all I'm going to do is we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and whenever I tell you to switch. Does that make sense? It will help you if you walk your feet. I know it's ridiculous, but it's the only way to keep yourself from speed enough without noticing it. So we're going to start with the jig. Ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, change. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, change. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and bam. Does that make sense? So, Rhythmaker, this means some cool, weird stuff for you guys. That means that where usually you're doing boom, check, yeah, on 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, check, you are boom on 1, nothing on 2, hesitation, check on 3, boom on 4, nothing on 5, hesitation on 6. So you're going 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4. I'm saying that, yeah. 1, 3, 4, 6, 1, 3, 4, 6. Does that make sense? And these are the hopes, right? That we have that, it's got this kind of lopsided donkey feel to it, and that's what you want to go for. And this is one of Phil Williams, God bless him's, biggest gripes about where there's a gap, because there's this kind of idea that, like, no, jigs are a thing of the Irish, and that goes if you're an Irish player. Old-time people don't. That's just not true. Jigs are very much a part of the broader American old-time scene, but there was kind of a gap there that just sort of fell out of favor, and so not a lot of people in that community are strong jig backup players. You can become those people and save your community from a jigless lifestyle. But it's all about that hesitation. So, bring the heat. I trust y'all to do it. We're just going to do it twice through. Again, I'm more worried about the transition than I am about the tunes. Everybody knows which notes and or whole tunes they need to resolve themselves, but just we're going to kind of work that change. So, actually, you start us off on this one. So just give us 1, 2, 1, 2, which is actually 1, 4, 1, 4 for jig time. But yeah, just on an E minor and just give us 4 beats of that.
Okay.
Very good. Very nice. going, or whatever it is that non-bow people do.
Right. What was the first song?
Swallowtail Jig. But nice work, and the transition was actually really clean. I was really happy with that part of it. There's just a couple little boppy bits in that. I would like to talk through a little bit of stuff about just reading the call, communicating with the caller, communicating with the band. But are there any other sets that we've played already that you guys would like to run tonight from we have a lot of repeated scale notes, we don't get to check out on the emphasis, and it's getting a little fuzzy in there. And there's times when we might use that in a purposeful way, right? We might do a lot of slurs because we're doing, have you guys ever seen a hey for four? No, I did hey for four. Okay. Well, we might try that tonight. How much coffee on that? Or a do-si-do, right? Where you walk around the other person and it's all very smooth. An element, right? Things that are very smooth like that. I might do it. Where it's a little bit smoother, but I still need that. I still need them to know when their feet land, right? And if it's a more percussive thing, if it's like a long line sort of back and walk in, 2, 3, 4, and back, I might have to say. You guys just on an E note, just I can hear the difference between your down bows and your up bows, but I can't hear the difference between 1 and 3, 2 and 4. Does that make sense? So what I'm hearing is, which is by far preferable to where I can't tell the ups from downs, right? So, but we want to go from 2. So those are the ones that they step on. And do you notice the difference? Where in my arm, where do you see the difference on that? Yeah, it's my hand, it's not. Because that's just a good way to use an arm. So, you guys just need to do that. There you go. I can dance to that. It's not my favorite dance tune, but I can dance to that, and that's what matters. Can you guys kind of feel where that is? So, rock out on that. Maybe on some of the faster tunes, or maybe you're still kind of working to get all the notes, but get that vibe in your hand and that emphasis. That was good. I like it. So, the new tunes that we're throwing in, again, I'll put them all up there. I will put a suggested order of which ones to tackle first. And you can do them as fast or as slow as you like. I'm not picky. But probably the easiest one I'd like most to kind of start with is Spotted Pony.
And there's a few parts that are kind of still tripping me up.
Okay. Yeah, but that stretch is just kind of like, oh dear God, why? That's okay. For quite some time, I've had this tune as. So you just take the walking notes and do only those and not the skip the altering notes, and I'll be totally fine. Does that make sense? Okay. So I have part of those up on the Dropbox now. The ones that I wanted to check in with people that called them, they'll go up tomorrow. But I'll send that along with the list of suggested stuff. So some things I'd like to talk about is just how the whole communication thing goes. If there's a thing I don't cover, and you're like, hey, decide such and such, stop me, and we'll have that conversation. So there's certain things you get to decide in the dance, and certain things the caller gets to decide. One of them would be the dances. Is that they're going to come with their whole pack of calling cards. Sometimes they will pick out the whole program in advance, and that's really fun if you get someone who's that, organized about it. More often, they'll just be like, hey, this. And if you ask them, usually they will be nice and share that calling card with you. But they often do it in very idiosyncratic shorthand, and so you kind of have to get a little bit used to what they write for those things. So what I'd like to do is write up what one of those would look like and use this as an opportunity to review with some of you who've heard part of this conversation how long a given move takes within a tune. So what is a contra dance step that one of you guys know?
Alban.
Very good. So left or right?
Left.
Okay, so we're going to count down left. And the question is it just once around? I mean, that's the default. There are elements halfways, but let's say that. Okay.
Say once around.
So we're going to say that. It's going to be in A1. And a lot of times they'll do like A, L, L, E, and that's all they're going to show you.
Oh,
Okay.
that's good to know.
Okay. So the question is, how many steps does the dancer take to do an element left?
Is it 4? Or is it 8?
Right? It's 2, but it's
4 is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So what they will sometimes show is this, because they too need to make sure that their timing lines up when they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
So how many beats is that?
4. Right? Every 2 is 1.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So?
But the other way.
My mind.
Yeah, right? Because in a measure of these, what did we say was our strong beat in 4/4? 1 and 3. That is the only place dancers step. It doesn't matter. If you play 8/8 notes, they take 2 steps per measure, period. Does that make sense? So if they took 8 steps, how many beats was that?
16.
Yes. How many measures is that?
4.
How many phrases is that?
1/2.
Half an A.
Or yes, which is how many phrases though?
1 phrase. It's 4.
And that's so let's think about this, right? So I know, but this is why we have to have this conversation, right? So think about I'm trying to think. Okay, let's just think about Angelina Baker because I think that was fairly straightforward. So you have da 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 da. That's like 2 phrases, right? Da 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 da. Does that make sense? The 4 phrases of that. But within that, you go through da 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 to get to the end of that element. So be with me. Okay. Now, why does that matter? Because then they're going to do something else, and they are doing this dance for the first time. And so it'd be nice if you could say something musically to them that makes it clear that you should stop doing that. You should start doing that. And so you'd want to make that clear when you're playing the tune. Da 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 da, and really make that very crispy. Whereas there are other that make sense? Okay? So that's why you need to know these things. So what's another move somebody knows? Long lines forward back. Long lines forward back. I like that. And actually, one other piece of information that should have been here. Alaman left. What's the missing piece of information? Are you?
Oh, number of quarter, number of times around.
Why am I by myself?
With
Who
the
are we?
partner.
Oh, right,
Partner,
partner, neighbor, corner. There's all these things. So I'm just going to say partner, but that might be all you see, right? LLP. What is that? Alaman left with your partner. Okay. It's still 8, but again, these might be things to know. So, what did you say? Long lines forward and back. Wow. I know. But this is why I'm telling you, so that you don't see this thing and you're like, is he okay? Yes, they're fine. They have their own language. So, long lines forward and back. How many beats?
Isn't it 8?
Yes.
4
And there's
and
4 and 4, right? Because you want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So yes, it's 8, but I kind of think of it as 4 and 4 because what you don't want to go is da 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 da. Where was the woo in that, right? So you want da 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 da. Let's see. And actually, not when I do it, I would actually change the rhythm of the tune to fit it. Da 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 da. I would put 2 separate bows there to hit that beat with them. That makes sense. So it's 8, but we really know it's 4 because you want to feel that. Good. So how far into the tune are we at this point?
End of the A?
Yes, end of A1. So then they will have A2. What's another thing we know how to do? Do-si-do. Very good. Do-si-do. Good. I know, but this is why we have this right. Good. So, how long is that?
Probably 8.
Probably 8. It's the same thing, right? And this is not like a super percussive 8. This is I walk forward, I walk backwards around this human. It's a very smooth, swishy kind of movement. Very good. What else you got?
Circle left.
Good. I know. A lot of times they'll just write a circle. So you gotta get a little bit heads up about what are they trying to convey. Sometimes they'll just put C, or sometimes they'll help you out and just actually write circle. But a lot of times it's just a circle and then left. Once around a circle left is a sensitive. Now sometimes you'll get a circle left halfway. Or 3/4. The 3/4 thing just bugs me, but we're moving on. But, so that just, if they say circle left, they're presuming a full rotation. Otherwise they would tell you something else. So now we are all the way in the tune at B1. Keep going, yeah. Looks like the people are not going to stop listening.
There's a star.
Yes, star which way?
Right. Let's mix it up.
Sometimes they'll write star, but quite often they just draw one. And that's another 8. And balance and swing. Now, I'm not going to say no, but balance takes how long? 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then swing is however many.
Right, and if you're going to get to the end of this B and not cross parts with the swing, which actually I've never seen done, you would have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh gosh, we're done. So I'm going to say let's make all of B2 a partner, balance, and swing for 16. So we need one more 8
Star
beat.
left.
Star left. That's a great combo. Star by the left for 8. Cool. So, what you would want to do, or what I do, that doesn't make it right, but that's just where my mind's kind of at, is you don't have a lot of time because they want this like security blanket back so they can call a dance. I'm scanning this to see where are percussive moments in the tune that I want to match. Are there any? If not, how smooth and swishy
squishy are we talking here? Do I need to choose really smooth, squishy tunes to complement that? So if you're glancing at this, what are the percussive moves? What are the bouncy, stompy things?
The long line forward back will be.
Absolutely. And the bounce and swing. So I would be looking for something where I have the ability to put a little bit of emphasis on those things at that point in the dance. Does that make some sense? So let's draft 4 humans to dance this and see if it works. It'll just be interesting to see. Don't y'all jump at the things. Particularly if you haven't done this a lot, you need to do it now. So if you haven't done many of the dance moves with this, they're all very simple, and we will walk through the thing. If you have done these things, or even if you haven't, I'd like you to ponder. We have enough time if you're interested in trying out calling a dance. That's a thing that we will do in class sometimes too. So I would pick an easy dance. I promise it'll be straightforward. But so let's just go. Oh, actually, we have 8. We might have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They'll leave one person out with me to play music. I'll come back. Okay, you play that. All right, everybody else, instrument play. Take hands in groups of 4.
All right. Groups.
Groups of 4. We're mixing it up. Yeah, we're mixing it up. Perfect. Okay. So we're going. So you will be lead, follow, lead, follow. You guys all cool with that right now? Okay, fantastic. All right. So okay. All right. So lead, follow, lead, follow. Yes. I'm going to drag y'all over here. And I'm going to push you guys slightly that way so y'all have one big line. Okay. So, you guys take one step that way? Fantastic. So, can you guys face that wall, and you guys face that wall? Okay. And you two are going to face this way. So, rotate and face. And rotate and face. Good. Okay. So, with your partner, the person who's the human next to you, give them your left hand in like an arm wrestle grip. But don't arm wrestle and walk around them. And that should take you 8 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There you go. There's your Alabama left. Now, when you get to the end of that, you're going to turn and face in to do this long line forward back. So you people all on this side of the room, take hands together. So you face in. You face in. You all take hands. You all take hands. Bingo. And you take 4 steps in. 1, 2, 3. And I favor a stomp there because why not? They don't want you doing that much. And then walk back out for 4. Good. That's your long lines forward and back. All right. So go back to where you started and so basically just step closer to one another, right? Alaman left your partner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get into your line. Walk in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Back 2, 3. Good. With that person you Alamanded, do-si-do, which literally just means you're going to pass by right shoulders, walk around these right shoulders. Okay. So long as you don't hit anybody, we're good. Very nice. Very good. In your groups of 4, which you started, take hands and circle to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very nice. Identify your own right hand. Stick this into the middle. In a perfect world, grab the wrist of the person in front of you. So you here, and then Joe, your own. Okay. There you go. You cool? All right. Walk in the natural direction till you get back home. So that'll take you another 8 beats. Having conquered the right hand star, stick your left hand in and go back the other way for 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you're home. Beautiful stuff. Good. Then there is a balance and swing. Balancing and swinging are two things that deserve their own discussion time. So we're going to go back to the beginning and just do what we have done thus far. Okay? So, you don't have to really turn any which way. You're just going to face in like we were in those lines and get ready to do the Alamand with your partner. And it's a left. It's a arm wrestle, but it's not. Yes. Let's do dancing bear. I can probably do that in soccer every time. We'll find out. So, give a left to your partner and get ready to Alamand. With the intro. So I'm going to give you 1 and 2, and here you go. Here you go, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. Stop. Let's just do that again because that was beautiful. Okay. So 1. So split up on the little intro. Alamand. Very nice. Don't sit on your partner. Walk around. Circle left. Right hand star. Left hand star. Yeah! Very, very nice. Can't you feel, though, like where that stuff should hit? Does that make sense? And it's like when you're going right there. Right. If I don't hit that, when do you turn around? Versus and that little hesitation, that little emphasis. So you want to read through that call the same frantic way you do as a dancer. Like, oh my God, when do I do the new thing? When do I line up with this thing? And see, how do you emphasize that in your playing? How do you choose tunes that embrace that and don't fight that? And sooner or later, you will choose a tune that's totally fighting that and totally killing the dance. I have done it, and it is sad. And then you change to the next tune as quickly as you can. But that's what you want to know is how long are these? Are they things that are smooth and I just need to emphasize when you change to the new thing? Or is it stuff like that long line? You guys were great. It's great stuff. So I will send out the new tunes. I will send out kind of a prioritized list of where I think you should start, but go as far with them as you can. Not at all expecting all 4 of them by 2 weeks. Just do the ones you want to do. And I'm going to send you guys just a couple of calls that are written out like this. I will use the full names and not the abbreviations, but I just want you to see how crazy it can get. And just think about them and just kind of walk through them if you know how to do them. We'll review them again in class. And think about how does that affect the tune. Also, at some point in your dance playing lives, you will forget if you have repeated that B part. Or the A part, right? Mm-hmm. But if you have been watching the dance and the calls, you'll be like, oh, they're doing balance and swing. I need more B part. Mm-hmm. Or you can use that to kind of give yourself some cues as to where you are. If something catastrophic happens and you get lost. So ponder that. And also if you're interested, like I say, in learning to call a dance, it'll be a super easy dance and we'll get the dancers prepped before we make you do it. And it's a lot of fun. Once you get used to it, it's mostly a matter of learning to speak in time. You have to say it X number of beats before they have to do it. And every emphasized syllable of what you are saying should be subconsciously feeding them the beat. So if you're doing this, you'll be like, Alamand left. Long lines forward and back. Because you just have to keep them together. So it's mostly just learning how far in advance of the call you say the words and how do you say the words in a rhythmic fashion. And we've had 3 or 4 different people from this class call dances. Because Doug and Joe and Carrie and there was one more. I feel like Greg. Yeah. That's right. Greg called one. So it has been done and all of the dances worked.
Carrie called one.
Yeah, Carrie was in the floor. So yeah, just think that over, but let me know because we just want to give you kind of a little run up to that. Of the new tunes I've added to the list, they're not all paired up yet, right? They're single tunes. So if you have a suggestion of tunes you think would go cool together, we're going to talk some more about what key changes are most successful. We talked about that it needs to always go jig to reel, not reel to jig. So we'll talk about how to put those guys together. If you find some that are singles on the side that you'd like to match together, great. If you play the tune and go, hey, this goes really cool with such and such that I know, we have the time to add that kind of stuff. If you have a recording of yourself